Garden level?
Yes.
Right. I've heard it's the first one. No, it's garden level.
Yes.
Everybody works in the basement.
Cement, more glamorous.
The dots in the lighthouse. Down one road, far left. Select that.
You know,
And now there's your using the arrow to open the, and then quickly go to the.
yeah, I mean, I can't was maybe doing it off the top of your head. So far.
So we had a month with three.
You know, but that there's no strong. All right.
Seven?
I'm not sure the 2 weeks old.
That's the main thing.
There, yeah, donation, that's done. We're gonna hang it up. Oh, we're gonna have. Should we do this?
Yes.
Because we're taking this direct to the board. Oh, I see how that way. So, got it, so.
So Karen will call you.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do is, I don't hear from her, because I'm gone on Friday.
Being non-kind and about
Excited?
5 o'clock, it's a little after 5 even, I'll call the Steele County Board meeting to order. I'd ask you to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Entertain a motion to about 30 additions to the agenda. Okay,
Oh, I'm sorry, no, none this evening.
board's wishes.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second that. Motion and a second, any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Public comment. If you wish to share your thoughts, please provide your name and address after being acknowledged by the board chair. Each speaker has 2 minutes to express his or her remarks. Steele County promotes respect in both its work environment and boardroom. Speakers, please maintain dignity and show respect towards others. Comments should be directed to the entire board, not to an individual commissioner, official, or staff. Board chair may limit comments that are argumentative, disrespectful, and redundant. Please avoid name calling or abusive language, as it may result in being asked to return to your seat or to leave the boardroom. No action will be taken on items presented during the public comment period unless they are on the agenda, and the board may refer some inquiries to the Steele County Administrator for follow-up. Is there any public comment at this time? Is there any public comment? Seeing none, we'll close public comment. Next on the agenda is correspondence. We have a letter from the Southern Minnesota Tourism Association. Thank you letter in our packet. You want to elaborate on that any more further? Or?
No, this is just related to our annual contribution to their budget.
Sounds great. Next is the consent agenda. Board wishes.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion, we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
The motion is second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. No action items for the work session. Next thing on the agenda is April employee anniversary. Welcome, Dina.
Good evening, Mr. Chair and members of the board. Here tonight to present our April employee anniversaries. I'll start off with Sean Grivet, Correctional Officer, 10 years of service. Moving on to Matt Gwynn, also a Correctional Officer with 20 years of service. Tony Casson at the Highway Department, 7 years of service. Travis Ernst, Probation Officer, 9 years of service. Megan Ringhofer, our Emergency Management Specialist, wrapping up her first year of service. Joyce Prusha, Correctional Sergeant, 24 years of service. Leah Kent, LPN, currently at Public Health, 18 years of service. Jocelyn Brooks, Custodian, 4 years of service. Sam Aarons, Probation Officer, 19 years. Corey Brunkley, Case Manager in Public Health, coming up on her first year of service. Tom Brems with the landfill, 2 years of service. Rob Benson, one of our supervisors at Public Health, 4 years of service. June Pifo with Public Health, 20 years. And then Mike Kath, maintenance worker, 5 years of service.
Thank you, Gina, and thank you for their years of service and their dedication to Steele County. Next is adopt the resolution 2026-19 to accept a donation from Federated Insurance in the amount of $2,000 for the CERT program. Board's wishes.
This is Chair, it's on consent, it was on consent, John.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was on consent.
I gotta get used to this computer.
Number 14.
Number 14, approve county surveyor appointment, agreement, and fee schedule. Welcome.
Should you put your bodyguard on?
Yeah. Mr. Chairman, members of the board. So we've done all of the statutory requirements so far, up to making the county surveyor the appointed position. We've done the publication and all that stuff, followed all the statutes that are required. The last step in this is to present the agreement. And Scott, with the help of Renee, of course, and drafted an agreement, and then we'll need you to look at it, and then will you do your wishes if you want to.
Board's wishes.
Mr. Chair, I'll move the approval of the surveyor appointment agreement and fee schedule.
Second.
A motion to the second, is there any further discussion?
Chair, just a quick question. So Renee, you had a chance to review this? and
Yes.
Did Rob, or did anyone need to weigh in on that, or everything looked to be in order? Pretty straightforward.
You had reviewed an earlier draft, I don't know if you looked at the final draft. What I had done with the final draft was to differentiate between the retainer duties that would be those customarily completed by a county appointed surveyor, but then clearly indicating that Scott and his firm could be retained to provide additional services above and beyond what is necessary as a county surveyor, but clearly those would be charged out on an hourly basis as per their customary fees, which is the schedule that was attached to the agreement.
Yeah, so, with that, then I have no prior issues with the prior agreement and everything.
Is there any other discussion? I'm sure you got a statement, Scott, you want to read, or?
I'll say thank you.
Sounds good, board's wishes.
We already had a motion on the
Call the vote.
Oh, yeah, it's my computer again.
We're gonna start
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Welcome aboard.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thanks everybody for all the hard work on this, and Amy and Robert. Thank you, Scott, as well.
Thank you.
Good job.
Number 15, approved CUP number 445, Northern Natural Gas, lease bill and floodplain with one condition based on the findings of fact.
So Amber unfortunately had something come up, so she's not able to attend this evening, so I will be presenting on her behalf. So CUP 445, which is a request to fill in a floodplain, Monica Entiger, on behalf of Northern National Gas, has requested a permit to place 123 cubic yards of new gravel and 5 cubic yards of the culverted access in a floodplain on their property located in Lamont Township. A no-rise technical memo has been provided for the work. The Planning Commission recommends approving CUP 445 with one condition based on the findings of fact as set forth in your packet.
Board's wishes.
Mr. Chair, I will make a motion to approve CUP number 445, Northern Natural Gas, to place bill in the floodplain with one condition based on the findings of fact.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Approve renewal of IUP 2020-04 GGD Companies / Jurley Pit with the 19 conditions based on the findings of fact.
So again, on behalf of the Planning Commission, Dan Niles, on behalf of JJD, requested to renew a permit to mine sand and gravel in Aurora Township on property owned by Gary, is it Jurley or Jurel? Jurley, thank you. Approximately 136,288 tons of material have been removed over the last 5 years. Amber and the Planning and Zoning Department has received no complaints about this gravel pit. Condition amendment recommendations included the bond amount decreasing from a premium based on 100,000 down to 75,000, which would be based on the amount of currently disturbed acres, and then to update the expiration date to June 1, 2030, and then add in condition number 19 regarding revocation if conditions are not met. The Planning Commission recommends approving IUP 2020-04 with 19 conditions based on the findings of fact.
Mr. Chair, I will abstain myself from voting on this.
Okay, will be noted. Any discussion? Board's wishes.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion for renewal of IUP 2020-04 JJD Company Jurley Pit with 19 conditions based on findings of fact.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 17, ordinance number 43, limiting firearms allowed for deer hunting in Steele County.
So first of all, Mr. Chair, members of the board, we have not provided any additional research or information with one exception, and that is following the public hearing, you had asked for a status report from our surrounding neighbors. There was a chart included in your packet. This was generated by the MACA group, which is the Minnesota Association of County Administrators. But on Monday, AMC issued their weekly report, and there was a table included. And so since it's visually a little bit easier to see, I did make copies for you, and it was handed out at your place with one additional update, and that is Dodge County met this morning, and the board did, by a 3-2 vote, agree to go to a shotgun ordinance. So that would be added as a shotgun item and removed from the undecided category. So there still are a handful of counties at this point that have not yet made their final decision, Steele being one of them. So unless there's additional information, I'll turn it over to Rob. I know you might have some questions for him. But the idea was to table this topic following your public hearing to tonight's meeting with the hope that maybe this would have provided the board with the time it would need to make a decision. If not, we could table it to your April 28th meeting. However, we are pushing up against the requested notification date that the DNR had asked in order to be included in their published firearms guide for deer hunting next year.
Rob? Mr. Chair, and board members, if the board is interested in any changes to the proposed ordinance, I have not any to provide you tonight, so I would, if you have changes that you would like made, I need to know what those are. I have not heard any comments regarding requests for a different ordinance that's proposed. The proposed ordinance would be in compliance with essentially the requirements to prohibit shotgun or prohibit rifle hunting in the county, and would be enforceable, in my opinion, should the board move in that direction. the phrasing of any motions, should the board make any tonight, is important, because, you know, essentially, they're dying for lack of approval, or not approval, or moving things forward is gonna be important, so please pay attention to any motions that are made, and the wording of those, should the board choose to take action or not take action. Because if the board chooses to not take action, it is essentially allowing state law to take effect. So the board could simply choose to do nothing and table this till the end of time, or take affirmative action to say we're not going to hear it any further. To be honest with you, I can't remember what the board's rules are as far as, well, we can get there if that becomes an issue, but I'll look it up. Should you take no action at a certain point, it does get removed from the agenda. So that's all I have, unless you have questions.
Yeah, anybody have questions for Rod or?
Yeah. So Ron, if a motion is made and second to go with the shotgun only, and it goes to a vote, and it goes down, then we're going to the rifle, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me know.
Yes. Should, unless there's another, I don't want to do a what ifs and speculations more, but like, we can impose a different type of ordinance in the future if we wanted to.
Yeah, this is kind of a weird deal
Yeah.
because non-action is deferring to the state statute. If you wanted something different, for example, a shotgun only, that does take the affirmative action of the board by ordinance. So non-action means you're taking no action in response to the state's proposed rule changes.
Mr. Chair, just so I'm clear, if it's the board's wishes or somebody wants, on this board wants to make a motion to limit firearms for deer hunting in Steele County, the shotgun only would require an ordinance, us to pass that ordinance, right?
Correct.
Okay, so again, no action means it just, we default to what the state has forced upon us at this point.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or discussion? This time, board's wishes.
Mr. Chair, I am gonna make a motion to pass ordinance number 43. And look for a second.
Mr. Chair, I'll second.
There's been a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
I would just like to make the comment that I think the overwhelming comments from the group that came to our last meeting were the reverse of that. And everything that I have read in the communications that we were afforded basically showed, if anything, that there was less of a risk with rifle than there was with shotgun.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Yabby?
Comment. So clearly individuals at the meeting that night who stood up and spoke were mostly in favor of it. However, there were a number of folks who were not comfortable speaking that did approach me or did call me after the meeting, who actually were at this meeting, who were not in favor of a rifle because of the, in their opinion, it was just increased risk. I would concur that, or I believe that because of the topography of the Steele County, we're relatively flat, and a rifle cartridge, the distance that it can travel, it just imposes more risk. I understand there are a lot of very safe hunters, but there are also a lot of hunters who've probably been around and who are not safe. Shouldn't probably be out there with a shotgun, let alone a rifle.
They shouldn't have a shotgun.
Well, they should, however they do, and now if we're gonna let them have a rifle, I'm just not in favor of that because of, we don't have the natural backstops, we don't have a lot of topography, hills, trees. It's pretty wide open in a lot of areas of our county. If someone's out there and they're irresponsible, I get they can be irresponsible with a shotgun, but now we're gonna allow them a rifle to shoot that, and it can travel twice as far. It's just, I'm not comfortable with that for that reason, so we obviously it's gonna go to a vote, but I'm not in favor of allowing rifles in our county to hunt deer.
Mr. Chair, I got one more thing to add.
Yes, Mr. Brady.
The people of Steele County should know that we held a public hearing for this, and you know, some counties didn't even hold a public hearing, they just voted without even people getting a say, and then later they caught heck, but we had a public hearing here, and, I know everybody there is very sincere on each side of this, whatever side they're on, and I know that it just seemed, to me, what the people talked to me was about 50-50, and I was pretty much, my mind was kind of made up from my own mind thinking, and I just made my mind up, I was gonna stay with the shotgun, and I talked to the people for rifle, and I talked to people for the shotgun, and we both talked, and everybody said they could live with whatever happens, and me too, whichever way this vote goes, I'm fine with it, but on this one, I'm sitting on this side of the fence, so we can call the question, Mr. Chair.
Any other discussion? I would just like to say that when the DNR put the shotgun in, it wasn't for safety, it was for deer numbers, and, the packet of information we got in the March meeting, all that information showed that rifle was safer. So I guess we'll call the question. There's been a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye.
The motion fails due to a
Motion
lack of
fails.
majority in
Alright.
favor of it.
Okay,
Therefore, the ordinance limiting shotgun use was not approved by the board.
okay. Thanks for that. Is there anything we gotta do then, Rob, or not?
We can move on to the next agenda.
For informational items, planning and zoning, planning commission meeting minutes are in the packet. Land use and record committee minutes are in the packet. Planning and zoning, 2025 EOY review is in the packet. And then we have commissioner reports. Rob, you have anything?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Krieger.
March 26th, I had South Country Health Alliance Finance Committee meeting. Happy to report at the end of the year in good shape. 27th, we had Joint Powers Board meeting for South Country Health Alliance with a wonderful, exciting compliance training included. I can't remember right.
30th of March,
Yeah.
County Township.
Oh, yeah, we had the county township meeting on the 30th of March. April 9th, I attended the workforce development forum over in Rochester, which was very interesting. It was, I think we got a clear picture of what they do and the process that they use, which was really good. On the 10th, we had our Human Services Director interview. On the 13th, I had the Emergency Communications Board, and I just want to call out in our packet here, we had a report from the building permits, and Steele County was up 56% in the amount of dollars in building permits from 24 to 25. So we went from 8.5 million to 13.3 million. I think that kind of bodes well for the county.
Thank you, Greg. Mr. Brady.
Yeah, I was at the meeting. Like last month, we looked, just the solar farm out there was like 3 million. 3 million alone in Clinton Falls Township.
I had to come in and ask what that was all
Yeah.
about.
But anyway, March 30th, I was at the county township meeting. On 1st of April, I was at the Joint Powers Board 911, and 6th of April was planning and zoning.
Thank you. Renee.
Obviously, I've been sort of immersed in human services related meetings. I've learned more about our human services programs than I ever thought possible. It's really kind of disturbing how much we are required to do with no funding. So if there's any realization from all of this, we're kind of stuck in terms of what the state is imposing on us. So our only hope is that HMA can guide us into a system and a structure that allows for maximum reimbursement.
Thank you. Mr. Addy.
in March 30th. I also attended the joint meeting with the county and the township on 4/1, the joint powers board meeting, Rice Steele 911 on 4/9, land use and records committee meeting on the 10th. I sat in on and was participating in the human services director interview, and then our work session today.
Thank you. Thanks,
March 30th, I also attended the annual township meeting. April 9th, I filled in for Mr. Brady on the land use and records committee. Also on the 9th, I attended the workforce development forum, which I thought was great too. April 13th, yesterday was the SEMCAC meeting and then the work session today.
Thank you. I also attended the township annual meeting. I guess with that, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
If I can just add
Oh,
one
yeah,
more thing,
for sure.
yesterday at the Emergency Communications Board meeting, the amendment was approved to move 911 from Steele to Rice. That had to go through 3 different committees. The final one was the Emergency Communications Board to switch the address and all that sort of stuff, and that had to be approved in the House, so.
Thank you.
With that, I'll move to adjourn.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All same sign, motion carries. Thanks for coming.
Sports anchor guy?
Yeah, Matt?
Yeah, thanks, man.